On this episode of Plus Club for September, we will be discussing Hitman 2, Predator Hunting Grounds, and Overcooked All You Can Eat. And we're moving into a new month, so make sure to download and play Hell Let Loose, Mortal Kombat X, and PGA Tour 2K21. I know it's been kind of wonky because of the obvious COVID situation that we've had in the house, but this will be the last episode you can vote for community pick game of the month. So make sure to type in GOTM and the game you want to be picked for game of the month, and we are going to be tallying them all up and revealing the winners and the runner-ups on the upcoming episode of game of the month, which is delayed later than I'd like, but it's coming soon, so bear with us. We're going to find out together what we'll be playing in October. All right, quick reminders. We got a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. If you prefer to listen to us in audio form, we have a Patreon. If you'd like to support this channel, further the liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing if you're brand new. And I think that's everything. All right, guys, bear with me. I am recovering right now. My lungs are recovering from COVID I had. So this is going to be maybe a rough one to listen to, but we're going to get through it. So let's get into Plus Club. What's going on, guys, and welcome to September's episode of Plus Club, the show where we play the games offered on PlayStation Plus throughout the month, and at the end of the month we talk about it. My name's Seth, and of course joining me today is Chevy on my left and your right. Chevy, we haven't been on in a while. I don't know how much you want to go into that, but how are you doing? And are you ready to have this conversation?
I'm indifferent to the details, so I'll leave that up to you. But
Go ahead, let people know how you're doing. And
I mean, we got lucky, and a certain virus decided to say hello to us. So
the house was visited.
yeah, so the month's been a little rough. I'm feeling great right now.
Which is awesome to hear.
Yeah, it's been probably about a full week now since I got over it, but obviously everyone's gonna be different on that as well. But I mean, yeah, I feel pretty good. Other than that, I'm just glad to be back to work and to be able to like actually play some stuff. It did really kind of affect, and I'm sure you can attest to this, the ability to be able to play these games this month. So
Yep. Well, I'm lucky. I played the Plus games a lot before I got sick, but I was waiting on Valheim because I was waiting for Hearth and Home to come out,
Yeah.
and then by the time Hearth and Home came out, I was fucking sick and I didn't want to play anything. So
Yeah.
that was rough. But stay tuned for Game of the Month. We'll be talking about Valheim then. But yeah,
Yeah, I know that I'm good. So
all good though. Feeling good.
yeah, already back to my crappy sleeping habits and eating. So
Yeah, no, that's a good sign. I think I've kicked the virus, but I am in a recovery stage now. Got a lot of fatigue going on. Got a lot of lung shit going on. And yeah, it sucks, but it's better than where I was at. So I'm happy about that. And other than that, feeling pretty good. It's all progress, so it's all been getting better. So I can only be happy about that.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there's a couple of days there that was not fun. So just happy that we can actually fucking finally shoot because I've been wanting to do this for days now, and my body was just not ready for that yet. But here we are. We're gonna talk about Hitman 2, Predator, Hunting Grounds, and Overcooked All You Can Eat. But before we do that, new PlayStation Plus games coming out. We got Hell Let Loose, Mortal Kombat X, and PGA Tour 2K21. What do you think about those games?
I don't know anything about the PS5 game, like at all. So
Is that Hell Let Loose?
yeah,
I know about it. I played it.
I've played Mortal Kombat 10 before, so I mean, it's fun. I'll look forward to play it again. So
Yeah.
and then
What do you think about PGA?
I mean, I don't have an affinity for it, but sadly, when it comes to sports games, I do tend to kind of like golf games. So
Yeah, just like the tennis game, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of it, I was stoked to play it because it's not a game that I play very often, just like golf.
yeah,
I don't play golf games either very often. So hopefully it's cool because golf is kind of a zen-like sport. It's kind of fun.
You can't remember the last time the name of the last golf game I played, but it was on PC, and it's like it's also like a multiplayer experience. We can have like a friends list and stuff like that too. I can't remember right now, but it was fun enough. I think it's called Golf Club or something like that. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, and
I
I
remember
enjoyed
that.
that. So not necessarily something I like. I come home like, what am I gonna play today? I don't want to play golf. That's never gonna happen. So
That's never a
yeah,
thought that I've had or will ever have.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I feel that. Yeah, curious about the golf game though. I'm just gonna call it that because the name is not fun to say for me right now. Mortal Kombat X. It's Mortal Kombat, so I'm gonna play it. Sure, it'll be great. I don't remember if I played X or not. Pretty sure I have.
For sure you have to.
Pretty sure we played that. And then Hell Let Loose I have played already on PC, so I am really curious to see what it's like on console, and see how it looks. And yeah, really excited for people. I think this is just coming out or came out recently. Really excited for people to get their hands on this on console because even though it is an indie developed game, it's pretty well made. So
Okay.
it's cool to see competition, I guess, in the space of FPSs when it comes to, you know, everything else that we have, which is Call of Duty, Battlefield, and someday Halo.
Someday.
Yeah. So that's gonna happen. So looking forward to this month. And yeah. All right. So we played 3 games this month. And that was Overcooked All You Can Eat, Predator Hunting Grounds, and Hitman 2. Should probably talk about Overcooked All You Can Eat first. So if you didn't get a chance to play that, Overcooked All You Can Eat is Overcooked 1 and 2 combined into a package, and they have now added multiplayer online as well as offline. It is a 1 to 4 player cooperative kitchen
Management.
puzzle management game where you run around different kitchens. Every mission has a different kitchen with different scenarios happening. Like, I don't know. One was a pirate ship where parts of the kitchen are moving, and you have to complete dishes that it allocates to you within the allotted time, and you get rated, bronze, silver, and gold for your progress on that. We both played it, and I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
So I played this with one other person, and we played it quite a bit. We put like multiple hours into it, and for anybody who watches the channel regularly, you guys know that when we played Overcooked before, it was I feel like, not to speak for you, but I feel like we appreciated the concept, but the game was not annoying, but like really fucking stressful.
Yeah, I went back and actually checked what we had said because I was kind of curious.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and overall, it seemed like we had a pretty positive outtake on it. But the lack of features was
Yeah,
dragging it down.
yeah. So anyway, it was cool coming into this because I actually didn't know what this was. I thought it was the third game for some reason, but ended up being 1 and 2. So I skipped playing the first part because I already played that on Plus Club already, and I played Overcooked 2. But yeah, the game instantly starts with a huge roster of chefs you get to pick from, which I thought was really cool. There's a lot of variety, and every single character you can pick from has an alternate skin that is completely different than the one the default one. And it has online multiplayer, which is huge. That's the one thing, the biggest complaint I had, I believe,
Yep.
for the original one is that it needs that online multiplayer because it neuters the game if you can't play it with your friends across the internet. I get couch co-ops fun, and if you
Yeah.
can make it happen, awesome. But it just it seemed like a huge loss. So it's here in this game. It works great. And I was really happy to see that. Got the features, well, the feature that I really wanted. Overcooked 2 and its missions, I think were honestly a lot of fun. They were really creative, very fucking stressful. I knew that was going to be a thing. I warned Sarah, I was like, we're gonna get angry at each other. We just gotta remember, like, we gotta work together. We
Yeah.
gotta get this going. I would get like frustrated. She would start talking to me like, hey, well, like it's fine. Like we just gotta, and vice versa and
Yeah.
shit. It's one of those games where it gets kind of like awkward for a second. Like, oh shit, tensions to get a little high. But which is so funny because like you look at the game and it's so cartoony, but it's there's very few games out there that like stress me the fuck out, and Overcooked's one of them.
Yeah.
But I did have a lot of fun playing this. It's it's interesting because like we tried multiple approaches where we would like call a lot of stuff out, which does work a lot. But then there's other ones where we just like instantly clicked and start doing things, and it just worked out, and that's a lot of fun as well. Also, the added stress of we were going for gold on every single mission.
Oh, yeah. You're doing your tower defense thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's one where we did it. There was a mission that we fucking did. I swear like 15 times, and we were so close to gold every single time, every single time. And I was like, we can do this. We can do this. I know we can fucking do this. We can do this. We did it. And I'm like, okay, fucking thank you. But yeah, it's a really fun, simple game. Super chaotic. There was one mission where you have to throw shit across the water to each other. That one drove me nuts because sometimes the items could get stuck between like shell or counters and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I was wasting time trying to get to it, or objects on the ground that were thrown across would get in the way of me interacting with the countertops. And that fucking drove me crazy. But other than that, the game runs really good, plays really good, super simplistic in its buttons. You just, more so or just figuring out the situation. And I had a lot of fun with it, honestly. As much as I got stressed out, it was fun. And they fixed the online co-op thing. So I got to give them points for that because that was the big thing that held back the first one for me.
Yeah. I mean, I had a pretty similar experience. Mine is playing with someone else. I played by myself,
Oh shit.
which is kind of tricky because you have to like hit a button to switch characters. So there's less fluid movement happening because you have to pause what you're doing, switch character, make them do something, pause, go to the other character. So it feels a little clunky, a little slow, but the ability is there. So if like you want to play the game still, you can absolutely solo it. And then yeah, I didn't play it a whole lot because like we kind of talked about earlier. But I did play a couple maps to kind of get a feel for it. I immediately, like you had already brought up, noticed a vast variety of characters, which I super appreciated. Some of them were just like right up my alley, so it was really kind of cool. I also love the look of the game because it has this really charming, like cutesy look to it.
That was the thing that drove me nuts about the first one. Was like I feel like I fucking should love this game
Yeah,
because I love the art style, I love the character designs, and it's a co-op game. But I was fucking so frustrated, and we couldn't play with Chris
Yeah.
at that time and shit, so he had to play it by himself then.
yeah. And then yeah, getting into it and noticing that you could, because I knew it was Overcooked 2, but I didn't realize it allowed you to play 1 as well within
Yeah.
it. And I was like, oh, this totally reminiscent of like Left 4 Dead 2, where they were like, here's Left 4 Dead 1 inside Left 4 Dead 2. Now you can just do the whole package, one game,
Yeah.
same type of deal. And in this case, it makes a lot of sense because the first game didn't have that online option. Now you have the ability to play the entire thing with online. And I think that was a really smart move. I'm glad they did that. So I give them a lot of credit for that. I mean, the game plays like I remember it. It's very quirky. Like you said, the maps can kind of weird. I remember even when we played the first one, there's the one where the kitchen's like constantly like elevating and de-elevating and you got to throw dishes and stuff down to each other. And it really does add to that, like, not just tension, but also just the puzzle element of it. And so, I mean, if you're like into the idea of like solving problems, I mean, I'm not to get too into recommendations yet, but this is literally what this game is for the majority. It's problem solving the game. So
On the fly, 'cause you're on a timer.
Yeah.
Even though they did add a like a casual mode
yeah,
that I guess significantly increases the time it takes, and I guess it's just more for fun.
I would probably honestly for one playthrough prefer
I
that.
I thought about doing it, but I was like, nah, I want to play it the way
Yeah.
it was intended for. But it's cool that for people out there who are not going to subject themselves to that, they have an option.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Or if you have
and
kids or something.
yeah, for sure. That's probably actually a much better reason right there.
Yeah.
Because I think the art style is going to attract all ages,
Family,
anyways.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, the couch co-op nature of it is going to be more family friendly as well. So, the game can get really hard if you want it to. So, if you like a challenge and stuff like that, I mean, it's there. So, other than that, I mean, I feel pretty much the same way as I did before, except they've improved it in every way I probably could have complained about before.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean,
And you got both games.
and yeah, and you got all the content. It's all there. So
Yeah.
huge improvement. Props to them for sure. It's not a game I can play all the time, but it is fun enough. If our circumstances would have been a little different, I would have liked to have tried 4 player.
That was my plan, dude.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
But-
And then by the time you got around to start playing it, I was fucking out.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my general thoughts.
let's jump into recommendations then.
Okay. I think if you like, couch co-op games, with online multiplayer, 1 to 4 player, cooperative experience with a little bit of tension, which is, adjustable with the default or difficulty slider. So, I mean, like, you can have that casual experience, or you can, I mean, there's a hard mode too, and I don't even want to know what that's like. So,
Yeah, fuck that.
so it can be as hard as you want it to be. Really creative, idea where you're like running a kitchen, but sometimes the kitchen is something as silly as pirate ships or an earthquake's happening while you're trying to cook, or you're on top of a roof while monsters attacking. So I mean, it's completely out there and in such a good way. It's a very creative experience. So
There's one we did where there's a crack in the middle and you needed to go to both sides of the kitchen, but there was just like one plank. And so when you ran across, you could fall off.
okay.
Or you could walk into somebody, knock them off. So like you had to like coordinate when you're running across there and shit.
It's like yelling behind, except for a plank.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And I do think because of the accessibility that they've added to this game, including difficulty and types of multiplayer, that I think most people could play it. I do think if you get frustrated easy, it might not be a good choice because the game can be frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have a tendency for that, I might avoid it. But otherwise, I think everyone should at least try it because it's a very approachable game. There's not a lot of buttons. So
Yeah, I think everybody should try it, but if you are somebody who does not handle stress well,
yeah.
or you're I don't
Having
know,
a rough day.
yeah, no, don't play this if you're having a rough day. Or if you're likely to get like upset easily at people, play it on the casual mode because the game is designed to be challenging, and it is. So I pretty much agree with what you said. To fine tune that a little bit, I would say if you like party games, if you're playing with 4 people, it does have kind of a zany, crazy, when shit happens, like, oh shit, that was crazy, kind of situation going on. So definitely recommend it to you. If you like cooperative puzzle games, I mean, it's a management game, but it feels like a puzzle game as well because you got to figure out. They place everything randomly in these weird spots in different missions, not randomly per mission, but just each mission they're different, and so you got to figure out who needs to be where and all this shit, and it feels like you're figuring out the puzzle. So
Yeah.
if you're into puzzles, definitely check it out. Yeah, I can't think of anything else more specific. If you want like a kitchen sim type game, it's not a sim, but it's one of the only things you're going to get that's going to be what you're looking for. If you're looking for a game where you're cooking and working together to try and, I guess, sell food. Not a whole lot of games out there like that. There's no chef simulator.
There's cooking simulator, but single player.
Oh, okay.
I actually own it. It's pretty neat, but
Yeah. Well, if you like that
Yeah.
game, check this out. If you want to play it cooperative with people. Other than that, yeah, I would soft recommend it to most people. It's designed, at the very least, they want people. They want people to get together and play it together. But yeah, the difficulty might deter some people, so play it on casual. Just jump into grades.
Okay.
I'll go first. I'm gonna give it a really strong B. I don't know what I graded it before.
C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a difference. I enjoyed myself. Not being held back by couch co-op only was great, and yeah, the amount of content on this was really good. Having access to both games, challenge modes, different difficulties, and a bunch of different characters was really cool. So I think it's if you're into this kind of game, you're gonna really like this game. I liked it more than I remember liking it before. Obviously, by my grade, it seems like that's also evident here. Yeah, it's a solid game. It's fun. This is the experience I wanted when I first played it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so I mean, in a very similar fashion, I graded it a C plus in the past when we did Overcooked 1, and for the reason essentially of lack of online multiplayer. I think it really is a huge detriment to the game.
Yeah.
Not saying you should take the couch co-op out. That should definitely still be there.
Keep
but
both, yeah.
yeah, you need that online. Well, they did that. And not only did they do that, but they also gave both campaigns a ton of character supplies. They did more than I honestly wanted from them. And so I have to also kind of jump a little bit. I'm going to give them a B as well because I think they just improved in every front. Is there more room? Of course there is. Maybe unlockables and customizations for characters and stuff like that. Like there's tons of things they could do if they're so inclined and if they've made enough money off the game. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just a better experience than the last game. 100%. There's no reason to even own the last one. Buy this one if you didn't get it for free this month, and just get the whole package. It's there. So
Yeah, I agree. Anything else to say?
no.
All right, let us know in the comments. What do you guys think of Overcooked All You Can Eat? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What do you think of the prior versions? Do you like that they added the online? Do you hate these games? I would completely understand if you did. Let us know everything you think about in the comments below. For the second game we played this month, we played Predator Hunting Grounds. Didn't get a chance to play that. It is a 4v1 game where up to 4 people, you can play with AI as well, are playing as mercenaries who have to essentially do a bunch of objectives on a map against AI soldiers, and you end up extracting at the end to leave the mission. While you do that, another player plays as Predator and is essentially hunting you down and trying to eliminate your team while I try to complete your objectives. And you can also defeat Predator and win that way as well. We both played it, and let's start with you with
Okay.
impressions.
So I mean, like you said, it's a 4v1v however many bots they want to throw at you game.
Yeah.
I did not play this online with people because, well, the option was there for me not to, and I'm not into competitive games, so I can't speak on that front.
I think they learned this is the same guys who made the Friday the 13th game, and they got kind of fucked in that game because of the rights with the creator of Friday the 13th. But I think they're trying to future proof this game in case something happened. So it makes sense that they would add shit like that.
Yeah, so this game has bot support, so that you guys are on the same page as us here on that. So the only downside to the bot support is that the bot won't play the Predator. So you need someone to play the Predator.
It's kind of a shame that
Yeah.
they couldn't figure that out. I know it has to traverse trees and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't seem to be that hard, though, because the terrain for the Predator is very sticky. So
Yeah. I think the emulating a person strategizing is
be the hard
difficult.
part.
Yeah.
For sure. So I had a chance to play the Predator and the Marines. I played this multiplayer with Chris. I can't speak too much for him. He can speak for himself when we have him on the show next. But I did have a chance to play versing at least one person, so I did get that experience as well. The bots, to be blunt, are completely stupid. Like, they're awful. They literally, if there's two players playing soldiers or whatever they are. One bot each. Then they literally will hug your ass the whole time, and then when you're building, they will stand in the doorway and you can't walk through them. So
Really?
super annoying, super fucking annoying.
That's fucking crazy.
When we played, like if I was Predator or like Chris was Predator, then you have both bots or three bots following you around, and they will take points. So they're good in that regard, but they still block doorways, and it's really frustrating.
How do they how do they work with a real person playing Predator?
If they notice NPCs or the player, they'll just start shooting at them. So, but the invisibility for the Predator does work. So as
Okay.
I watched,
That was the thing I was worried about. Was like how if they're so stupid, are they just gonna start fucking unloading no matter what?
no, so they have to actually, the person has to be visible, and they do have to be looking in their direction. As I noticed, even when like an alarm went off and we were being swarmed while defending a point, there'd be people all the way outside, and the bots wouldn't even like go out and try to shoot them or anything. But as soon as they came in the doorway and they saw them, they turn and start shooting. So they just don't move a lot. That's they turn into little turrets essentially. It seems like so.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Other than that, as far as like the gameplay experience goes, I think it's got some neat ideas. I mean, like you have to do objectives while not only like worrying about where the predator is, because they have a lot of tools at their disposal to be sneaky, but also dealing with this other faction that's holding onto these bases, and they can hit an alarm, and then a larger wave of them will show up, and you got to fight them off at the same time. So it's a neat idea. My biggest problem is I feel like everything in this game doesn't work 100%. It's like not very polished, I guess is the best way to put it.
Oh, it's lacking a lot of polish.
Because even as the predator, like traversing trees is literally, it's very like I said sticky earlier, but you're effectively like a magnet to brand. You look at one, and if it's the closest one, it automatically jumps, and you just sticky to it, or you have to look and you'll see the X icon, you'll hit
Yeah,
X.
branches are just paths.
Yeah, it's really it's weird. Yeah, it's like following roads. It's not that cool. And honestly, I do appreciate that the Predator runs on an energy system, and the more things you do, the faster your energy drains. I think that's a good system that they put in there. So if you're invisible and you have your thermal vision and you're using the energy gun on your wrist all at the same time, you're gonna run energy super fast, and you're gonna expose your position. And then not only will the player see you, but the bots that are running around will also shoot at you too, because everyone's against everyone pretty much in the game. So
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, I do think it's kind of neat that you can cover yourself in mud, hide yourself from the thermal vision of the predator. That's a neat feature. It is actually more challenging than I expected for the predator to actually find people,
It's
which
kind of rough.
yeah, it's not like it's not like you have this thing that goes go this way. Like when you have the soldiers, you get an objective marker, and you can just
start going.
bum rush.
Yep.
Yeah, the predator has to actually hunt people down, which I actually kind of appreciate because the predator is pretty OP.
Yep.
When it comes to like his energy rifle with a headshot, 1-2 shots are dead. Like
If you play online against somebody who knows what they're doing with Predator, they just annihilate.
yeah, they're way overpowered. But I mean they are versing 4 players
Yeah.
and NPCs. So
That's
I
a
mean,
fair point. Yeah.
yeah. And the players can hide in buildings and stuff like that, and then they have choke points.
Well, and for people who know what they're doing, coordinate, you can kill a Predator pretty fucking fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I unloaded into Chris. I saw he snuck in, attacked one of the bots, and I put a clip in him, and he ran away, and he's like, holy crap. I was like, okay, well, that's
Yeah,
a
you
good
can't
sign.
sit there
Yeah.
and tank rounds. Yeah.
So, I think they have there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of good ideas. It seems like, balance wise, they've done a pretty decent job. I'm not the best person to speak on that, but it did feel pretty okay. I just think the game is super, not a big fan of using the term, but it's a very janky feeling game.
Yeah.
And then just
very much like the last game. The last game had a bunch of great ideas. I thought it was a lot of fun, but it's a janky game.
yeah. So I don't know, and it's hard for me to play anyways because it's a versus game. That has a personal issue. It has nothing to do with the game, but it does. Unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of bias in that regard. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty much my overall impression.
So I played this in the beta, and it was a buggy mess, and it was laggy on console and all sorts of shit. So I got a little taste of it there, and returning to it was pretty cool because there's no lag, which I was hoping for. Like, the game gets released, hopefully it runs fucking smooth. And there's no bugs, I guess, but a lot of jank.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool ideas going on in this game. The shooting is serviceable. It doesn't, none of the guns feel impactful. There's no like recoil. It feels kind of vacant and hollow. But it works. It's serviceable. And yeah, I enjoy the doing objectives, co-op stuff. The AI is atrocious. The the enemy AI literally just runs at you and shoots at you.
Rushes, yeah.
Yep. So you just gotta drop them as quick as you can. Keep moving. Missions have varied objectives, which I appreciate. And yeah, playing Predator is okay. It's not really my cup of tea, which kind of sucks because I love stealth stuff in games, but the Predator is kind of a run and gun stealth, but also a lumbering asshole who makes a lot of noise and shit. And I don't know. The way he moves in the trees, I don't like the way it feels. Kind of like what you were talking about earlier. And I think his whole control scheme is kind of fucking janky. So I preferred playing the mercenaries. What else? There's something I was going to talk about that you. Oh, the overall jank of the game. One probably my biggest complaint about this fucking game is, did you go through the menus a lot?
Yeah.
Like to change skins
Yeah,
and
yeah. I had
loadout stuff?
notifications that just wouldn't go away because I hadn't actually unlocked the base weapon yet.
Exactly. That's fucking stupid. But also, there's a fucking latency to everything.
Oh, yeah.
You go to a menu and you gotta wait a second, and then when you move, it has a lag to it, and then when you go to check out an item, it has to load the item. It's so fucking. It feels so horrible. Like I hated doing it.
The other part I hated actually about the menu stuff is if I, let's say I got a skin for an SMG, sniper rifle, and an assault rifle, and I had like a skin on the assault rifle I liked. If I went to check the other stuff, you have to first off equip it first and then look at the skins to
Yep.
get rid of the notifications. But then when you go back to the assault rifle, completely default. Your scope's gone. Your skin's gone.
Oh,
again.
yeah, I hate
it
that shit.
doesn't memorize it. So
Yeah.
you have to reset it up again. So
Yeah, so it's like those little things are all over this game, which makes the whole thing feel like you can't fully enjoy the game. Because, I mean, I pretty much agree with almost everything you said. It's got some cool ideas. I think the concept is cool. I, of course, love a game where you're playing co op with friends, but I also love a game where you're playing co op against somebody as well. I think that formula, if it's done well, is fun. And this lends itself perfectly. It's fucking Predator, it's Mercenaries, makes sense. And to be fair, when I played it, I was having fun, but not like a blast. And I was just like constantly annoyed with the menu situation. And the game does get repetitive. I think I got to like level 15, 16. I think I got higher than that
a lot
actually.
of loot boxes.
Yeah, yeah. Got a lot of those. So I played it quite a bit, but I did start to feel like I was like grinding, and it just came down to like how good was the Predator we were playing against, because the rest of the gameplay was like becoming autopilot to me.
Yeah.
I would just start running and doing the thing, and I just be like, okay, how are they playing Predator today? Are they just gonna rush us? Are they gonna wait till the end and fucking attack us when we try and evac? Because that was a tactic that worked one time and it fucking pissed me off.
Yeah. Chris tried doing that to me and almost got me. So
Yeah, it's one round like fucking me and like three randos were just doing everything, and I'm just like the whole time like, is this guy AFK? Like, where is he? And then fucking we're at the helicopter and the guy runs in and starts just killing everybody. I was like, that's what he's fucking doing. Okay. And it worked. He got 3 out of 4 of us, so
it's good EXP.
yep. But anyway. Yeah, the repetition of the game. You're gonna run into every game with every game, but
Yeah.
I ran to that in like hours in this game. So it definitely needs content. But it was fun. I don't know if I'd go back to it unless I had like a bunch of people who wanted to play it. It's not really something that I'm sitting around thinking about. But like their prior game, it's better than it. Well, no, it's a big property. It should be better. But for the size of the company, it's better than it should be. These guys have gotten two huge titles for some reason, and they're a small developer, and they make these fun games that no one's got the balls to make. They just, for some reason, whether it's the lack of development time or money, they can't ever fully realize what they're trying to do. The concept's always really fucking cool, but the game itself is like, I don't want to say half baked because they you can tell they fucking worked on the game.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
tell they cared about it.
Well, it's not buggy like you said.
Yeah.
The game works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Except for the menus. That's the one thing I think is atrocious. Aside from the graphics too. The graphics are, but I can look past that. The gameplay's fun, it's fun. But the graphics look like a fucking early PS3 game.
They're pretty whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how bad they look, but if the game's fun, it's fun, so I don't care about that.
For sure.
Yeah, overall, it's a fun game, but it has a lot of weaknesses, and I don't think it has a lot to offer in terms of like longevity, I guess. Yeah, it's fun. So, anything else you want to say? Let's jump into recommendations. I'll throw some out there. If you like cooperative shooters, maybe check it out. If you like Predator, I think that's probably the heaviest recommendation I can give. Is if you're a Predator fan, definitely check it out. If you like 4v1 games, not a lot of them out there, so this is one to definitely check out if you're curious. If you like games where you get to sneak around and take people out, and sabotage things, stuff like that. This is one of those games you can do that, and that's a rare thing as well. I can't think of much
Leveling
more.
and unlockables as well. It does have loot boxes, but it's all cosmetics and stuff, so you're not really anything important you get through leveling. So yeah, if you like the idea of leveling and unlocking stuff, the game does have permanent unlocks, which is a good thing.
Loot boxes, if you miss those.
Yeah, and like I said though, fortunately it's all cosmetics, so
Yeah.
like it's not like affecting the game really. To add on to the 4v1 thing, if you like the idea of a PvPvE game, because there is 3 elements in the game,
Yeah.
versus like something like Dead by Daylight, where the only really the only time you're really gonna run into that is when someone's playing the was it Mr. X or whatever from Resident Evil, because he can have zombies out. But other than that, it's 4v1. That's it. So and then like you said, if you're into that type of game, there's only a handful of them. So give it a shot. Maybe it has something that calls out to you that you enjoy, because it's not a bad game. It definitely the polish, man. It needs some TLC. So
100%. I agree. Anything else? All right. Who graded first last time?
I think you did.
So we'll go with you then.
Okay. It's it's tough for me because like this is not a type of game I enjoy playing. And even in the field of like, this is gonna be a weird example, but even like watching people play these games, the only one I like is Dead by Daylight. That I think that game for some reason's got a watch appeal. I don't know why that one does and none of the rest do, but that one works for me. That being said, like it was kind of brought up. The game plays fine. It's got really good ideas. I'd love to see them polish it up and make it like a big competitor in the space, because there's room for it. And obviously people enjoy that type of game, because the ones that have been out and are successful, people still play. So that being said, I do think it does need some work. And I do think the graphics are kind of so I'm gonna give it a C. It's got room to grow, but I don't think it's a bad game. So
Fucking hopefully it has room to grow.
yeah.
The last game didn't.
So
So you're giving it a C. Yeah. The game's fun. It's definitely a game I can play. Hits on all the beats that I'd want from a game like this, but has just so much fucking jank. And the repetition factor, which makes it difficult to keep playing over and over again. And then my biggest thing, which I think is I can't emphasize enough, the menus are really fucking atrocious. Like the lag, it feels awful. It was to the point where I didn't want to fuck with my loadout because it was such a process.
Yeah.
Which is something that I hope they can fix because it's it's really fucking bad. But outside of that, fun game, straightforward game. It's got some cool ideas. So I'm gonna give it a C plus. I wanted to give it a B minus, but I think it's held back too much by its jankiness. I think it needs, like you said, TLC. It needs some fucking some cleaning up, some tuning up, and they did a lot from the beta to what I've played now. So hopefully they can prove it, so I can come back and play it and not complain about something as weird as the menus. All right, and the last game we played is Hitman 2. If you didn't get a chance to play Hitman 2, it is the second of the trilogy of Hitman, where you play as Agent 47, an assassin. You go and play individual missions. There's a story, but you can play these missions freely. You have targets. You go in and you essentially can go guns blazing or stealth in. Game's built for stealth. And take out your targets and escape. Like all Hitman games, it emphasizes using your environments and using disguises to traverse the map and take out your targets. And this game, like the last game and the game after, the newer Hitmans, has a system where it incentivizes you to replay missions over and over and over again, and it has different story arcs you can play through per mission, and different things to unlock so that when you play the mission again, you can do it a different way this time around. We both played it, and I'll go first. So I'm a big Hitman fan. I like every single Hitman game except for the bad one.
Blood Money?
No, Blood Money's great. I can't remember the name of it, but everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So anyway, big Hitman fan, and I really liked why I really liked this game. What I was gonna say is I remember playing the first of the new Hitman iterations, and I was happy they brought it back to what I wanted it to be, but I guess as that game was releasing in its episodes, I was turned off by that because it felt so compartmentalized. And they do a good job of making every mission a huge fucking map, a huge playground, and a lot of stuff to unlock to replay that mission. But playing Hitman 2, it feels like they got away from their brain process trying to make that episodic thing work, and they could get more into the gameplay. Everything in Hitman 2 feels better than Hitman 1.
Okay.
I think the missions are better. I think the variety's better. I think the scenarios are better. And I think the environmental stuff you can do, it's a lot more interesting. And I don't know what about this month, but when I played it, it just clicked. I remember playing the first game and I enjoyed it. And I think I have played Hitman 2 before because a couple of these missions I remembered. But something really clicked this time around. I actually went through and beat every single mission in Hitman 2. I haven't done everything you can do, but I beat all the missions. Then I went and bought Hitman 3 because I didn't get enough, and I fucking beat most of the missions in that as well. And that's a whole other story though. But so Hitman 2 like really clicked for me this time around, which is really cool. I mean, I played it pretty much the way you should be playing it, but stealth, try to get through the missions without being seen ever. At first, it's kind of difficult because you have to get the systems down, but once you do, it became almost became easy for me every mission to just like walk in, get in there, and get the fuck out. That I started doing the almost like guided stories that they have in this now, just to see if I could complete those.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
You like walk up and it'll introduce like a story mission thing you can do, and then it'll be like, oh, you need to be like, you need to take out the mailman, so you can be the mailman, and you'll hear like these dialogues and shit that
Oh, okay.
happen
Okay.
for this whole thing. So I went through and did those, just because otherwise I would just go in, fucking sneak in real quick, kill a dude, fucking change my disguise, get the hell out of there. And I wanted a little bit more of a challenge, I guess. So I'm glad that they have those in the game. And yeah, the maps are a lot of fun. I think they're way better than Hitman 1. For like the suburbs level, that was a lot of fun. Reminded me of, I think Hitman Contracts. Brought me back to that. And yeah, I honestly, I don't have much to say on it because I liked everything about it. I really enjoyed playing it. It's a solid Hitman. Though, recommendation if you haven't played Hitman 3, fucking check that out because it's even better. It's nice to see that Hitman 2, Hitman 3 has just been a progression of more solid games. So I'm glad that they're knocking out of the park with these games. And yeah, super satisfying. Great stealth game. Great strategy game. Maintains the essence of Hitman that I loved from back in the day. And I just played the shell of this game. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Um. So I didn't play a lot this month of this game. I in fact, I think I only played the first mission. And it was mostly because, and the game. I'm gonna preface this by saying the game is super well made. I have no complaints in a technical standpoint, but this game is a lot of things I don't like. I don't really like full stealth games that much, and the game definitely wants you to do that. I don't like. It's very sandboxy, so it's
It's 100% a
yeah,
sandbox.
it's too much freedom for me to the
Once you
point.
get creative.
Yeah, where I'm just kind of like, okay, just kind of like give me like exactly what you want me to do so I can get this over with. And yeah, I don't find the gameplay loop that fun for myself. Now, I do want to say the game looks really good. It plays really well, and what it's doing, it knows what it's doing, and it works great. So like, even going around, make sure the cameras are off, make sure you can get the garage door open, sneaking in there, hacking the computer, the people show up type of deal. Like it flows really well in that regard. I actually I can appreciate a lot about this game, but I don't have like that deep love and understanding of it either. So like we played Hitman 1 before, and I honestly felt like I was just playing the same game.
Yeah, I mean, you were
Yeah. And so like I didn't really like there was no
just
excitement for
better.
me in that regard too because I there's no I didn't have that deep love in the first game, so I couldn't appreciate things like any improvements they did make because I just didn't notice them, to be honest. So yeah, on a personal level, I'll be pretty happy to just not play this game ever again. But from the perspective of like game design and stuff like that, I think they did a great job. It's a very well made game. I'm glad people love them, and they're able to keep making these games and improving on them over
Well, the
and over
thing's
again. So
kind of amazing is I remember when I played Hitman Blood Money for the first time back in the day. It was the first time there's a Mardi Gras level. The streets are fucking packed with people. I'd never seen that game before.
yeah,
I was like, this is fucking insane. And you could mow everybody down. Like I was like, I don't know how they did this. And then here they've done it again in every fucking mission.
right.
It's packed full of people.
Wait, like in the
So
first game, you're like on that ship or whatever, and it's just filled with people.
the training area or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
But the thing that's really crazy about this, and in 3 as well, but we're not talking about that, although I played the fuck out of that too. Um, the scale of the missions are fucking massive.
Yeah.
They they when they're offering you, like, I guess when they offered them episodically, they're crafting in great detail these fucking maps that, even though you gotta slowly walk meticulously through them and walk down this alleyway and open this door that goes into that building, and then on the third floor of that you're gonna find a fucking balcony that goes out here into this alleyway that goes to this other building. There's so much fucking detail and lighting and characters placed on purpose everywhere that will go from here to there. It's so intricately designed. It's fucking insane. It allows you this sandbox, but also, if you pay attention, structure
Yeah.
to follow. That's insane. And it's like the second level, I think, in Hitman 2 or 3, not Hitman 3, but the third level. It's either second or third level, but it's a racetrack level. And you literally start outside of the racetrack area, and you can go left down into an area where there's either a parking area or the front entrance to a main building of the corporation that's running shit. And it's a multi-story fucking building. And then you can enter, or you can enter the fucking racetrack, and you can go through, like, where all, like, the normal people are at, like, partying and fucking having fun shit. And then there's, like, a whole ass racetrack with one of your targets who's driving around the racetrack at the time, so you have time to prepare for that. And it's such an intricate fucking map. There's so much going on. It's also, it's Hitman, so it's got that hidden in plain sight thing where you're, like, stealthing in front of everybody.
Right.
You're just in crowds. You're dressed up as as people. I don't know, just the amount of detail and design, like you're talking about, is it's fucking impressive.
100%.
It's crazy
Yeah.
impressive, and it's it's such a unique take on game development, game design, but also the stealth genre.
Yeah.
Because it's not a stealth game like Splinter Cell or Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
I mean, like, I'm sitting there with a fucking gun in plain sight, just waiting for my target to walk to me most of the time and shit in these scenarios, because I've already done the work to get to the position of where the person's going to be so I can take them out. And that's not an experience I can really have in, like, any other game. So I'm just adding more at this point to why I really like this game.
No, and I see that for sure. And choice is the name of the game on how you want to handle these situations. Like you said, you can take that, watch how it plays out, know where to be, and still use the gun. Or you could be like, I know they're gonna be in the room. I don't necessarily want to risk being in there. I'll just poison their drink or their food or whatever, or I'll set up this thing to explode when they're close to it and malfunction or whatever. Like,
I fucking, on that racetrack level, now I'm thinking about it, I'd been it a couple times, but on one of my runs, the girl was walking to, it's like a VIP area. It's a 2-story building where people are drinking downstairs, and upstairs VIP. I was just up on the balcony just waiting for her, and she's, like, walking towards me down at the floor level, and I just grabbed a brick, and I saw her, like, walking, and I aimed it, and there's just a crowd of people, there's people everywhere. I fucking threw it, hit her in the head, and I killed her. But as soon as I hit her in the head, which kind of sucks, all the fucking guys lit up, pulled their guns, and started fucking shooting and killing me.
oh yeah,
But I just want to see if I could fucking crack her.
Right.
So that was fun.
yeah. I mean, I that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Like I said, on a personal level, it's really hard for me to play this game.
Yeah, not your style.
But I do 100% have appreciation for what they've done. So
Yeah. Just when you said design, I just went and just reminded me of, like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
These maps are so insanely fucking detailed. There's, like, this manor, I think it's in the UK or something like that. That's literally just this big fucking house in the middle of the field. It's a bunch of rich people and shit, and you're just like, there's an investigation happening there because some guy killed himself. And so while this investigation's happening, you're just like fucking walking through this house, creep around shit, and it's everything's so fucking detailed. It's like the map design alone is like a pleasure for me to fucking just explore, just because it's so intricately designed. It's so fucking cool. They do such a good job with their environments, especially in Hitman 3. Check that out. First level, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's fucking crazy. All right. Well, I guess I'm just gushing at this point and not really the game for you. So we'll jump into recommendations.
Okay.
If you're a Hitman fan, it's a great Hitman game, in my opinion. So if you're looking for a good Hitman game, you didn't play Hitman 2, play this for sure. Or buy Hitman 3 and get the pass where you get Hitman 2 and 1's missions just added to 3. And then you can just fucking have all of it. That's what I did after I played this enough. I was like, I'm buying Hitman 3. If you like strategy, stealth style games, this is a must play. There's not a lot out there, and this is one of the best out there. At this point, Hitman is the only stealth game, the major stealth games. Metal Gear Solid's gone. Fucking Splinter Cell's gone because Ubisoft will make it.
Sticks.
Or Origami 2.
Yeah.
That's a game I played recently, and it was a lot of fun, although it's not AAA. It is not as fucking limited as this game.
Yeah, I watched you play a little bit.
Man, what a weird thing to think about, though. That out of the stealth games, fucking... I mean, I guess Assassin's Creed, if you want to call that a stealth game nowadays. I don't know. Anyway, you're looking for a stealth game, hard stealth game, play this. It's fantastic. If you like games, I already said it's strategy, but like if you like games, you gotta strategize, coordinate, think about your next move, set things up, and then reap the benefits of it if it works. That's this game. You also just walk in, shoot somebody, and run, but this game definitely benefits people who pay attention to their environment and learn from it. Yeah.
I think the only thing you missed was sandbox. It's a sandbox experience.
Yeah.
If you like that, the freedom to just kind of do whatever you want.
Replay it with different scenarios.
Well, yeah, and then the game is designed for replayability. So that sounds appealing. I would definitely check it out. Yeah, I mean, realistically, outside of the one Hitman game that you always bring up as like the bad one, I feel like if you played Hitman, you liked it, you kind of owe it to yourself to play it. So,
Absolution.
yeah.
That's the bad Hitman game.
So,
Oof.
so if you liked any Hitman game outside of that one, I mean, I think you kind of have to try it.
Even if you did play Absolution and you liked it, play this. It's better than it. So,
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really. I do think it is a pretty specific.
it's a
game.
pretty specific game.
So I definitely would not say everybody. It's definitely very mature as well. So if you're younger, I don't know if I would go.
If somebody was looking for like a shooter, I'd be like, I would not recommend
For
this.
sure, for sure.
It's not just a shooter, so
Yeah, there's a level of patience that's required for the game. So,
yeah. Anything else?
nah.
All right, we'll grade it. I'll go first. I'm gonna give this a very strong, hard A minus. I think the game is fantastic. I love everything about it. I think Agent 47 is a cool character. I think the gameplay is good. I think the shooting's tight. I mean, on controller, it kind of has problems, but it felt good enough. It's a beautiful game, well designed, great variety in mission types with a lot of replayability and future proofing for the next game because your progress can carry over. So that's really cool. It's just a great game. I'm glad that that IO Interactive was able to experiment with Hitman and fine tune it with Hitman 2 and then really knock out the park with 3. And so, yeah, it's a great game. A minus.
I mean, I agree with everything you said, and I'd love to give it an A minus, but my brain is just not going there. So I'm gonna give it a B plus. And I guarantee that it has to do with some personal bias, as much as I like to try to not do that. But I just can't even fathom giving it an A minus for some reason. And that's obviously a personal thing. So it is a well-made game, 100%. I have zero complaints in that regard, and I actually super happy that that Eidos just keeps doing it with this game. It honestly deserves to keep going because, like you said, where's the competition these days? So
Especially now, especially with the reception of Hitman 3, they ain't got no fucking
yeah, I
competition.
mean, just own the market, just take it, right? So like, that's awesome. I'm glad it exists because otherwise you have to look to the indies and like we kind of brought up like Sticks and
Origami too.
Origami too, yeah. So
Well, both of them, but yeah.
so yeah, I mean, it's a good game, but B plus for me. So,
So A minus, B plus. Anything else?
no,
Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think of Hitman 2? Were you a fan of it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you a fan of the series? Have you played Hitman 3? What'd you like about it? And if you don't like it, what's some things you don't like about it? Maybe you're not into the stealth. Maybe you're not into its brand of stealth. And yeah, let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Plus Club for
that's the
September. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe in Joe's episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on social and our streams. Links down below. You can check out our audio versions of this on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. I can't fucking talk right now. And we have Patreon. If you'd like to support this channel, further than liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. If you're brand new, my name's Seth. Thank you for joining me, Chevy. And until the next episode, which will be Game of the Month, a little delayed, but we're going to find out what the community pick is. So make sure to vote on this video now.
and every video this month.
Yep. Until that episode, though, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.